Unit 3, Transport. Lesson 16, Writing Task Part 2. Advantages and Disadvantages. A Guide for Paragraph Writing. In this type of paragraphs, a topic is a suggested solution for a given problem, and its advantages and disadvantages are outlined. Structure. An advantages and disadvantages paragraph has the following structure. Part 1. Introductory sentence or topic sentence. Part 2. Main body, which includes 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages. Part 3. Concluding sentence, in which we state topic or a summary. Introduction. Topic sentence. This is the first sentence where the topic is introduced. We may use any of the following techniques to make the beginning more interesting to the reader. We make it clear, keep it concise, not being boring, and we use active voice. Make it clear. A strong topic sentence includes clear, specific language and avoids the use of vague, empty words. For example, blueberries are good for you is considered a weak topic sentence that says very little, while blueberries provide essential nutrients, clarifies what makes blueberries good for you and lets the reader know that those essential nutrients will be explored in further detail. Keep it concise. Readers often find wordy topic sentences confusing and difficult to read, but a tightly written topic sentence compactly conveys its message. For example, writing that Boston is a cosmopolitan city maintains reader attention more easily than Boston is a city with people from many parts of the world, because it uses fewer words to express the same meaning. Don't be boring. A compelling topic sentence captures the reader's attention and encourages him to read further, including interesting or surprising facts within the topic sentence can spark readers' interest, as can unusual grammatical structure such as framing the topic sentence into a rhetorical question. An interesting topic sentence is one that is well thought out and focuses on unusual or less common aspects of the topic rather than stating the obvious. Use active voice. William Strunk Jr. and E.B. White explain in The Elements of a Style that active voice as opposed to passive voice is more direct and forceful. For example, discount travel search engines are used by travelers as an efficient way to plan vacations. A topic sentence in passive voice has less impact than travelers use discount travel search engines to efficiently plan vacations, which is written in active voice. To check if your sentence uses active voice rather than passive, make sure that the subject of the sentence performs the action. Main body. The main body usually consists of 3 sentences. Each sentence presents one detail. In this type of writing, you are required to write 4 of them, of which 2 presents the points for the issue, the advantages. 2 other presents the points against the issue, the disadvantages. Conclusion. In the final sentence, we give our own opinion and or a balanced summary of the topic to make the ending of the composition more effective. We can use one of the following techniques. State a personal opinion, give the reader something to consider, or use a quotation or rhetorical question. Now, regarding the vocabulary, the following words are often used in paragraphs which discuss advantages and disadvantages. For positive points, advantages, pros, benefits, arguments in favor, a positive effect. For negative points, disadvantages, cons, drawbacks, arguments against, a negative effect. Do not include opinion words such as I believe, I think, etc. in the introduction or the main body of the paragraph. Now, linking. In an advantages and disadvantages paragraph, ideas should be linked with appropriate linking words and phrases. They are like signposts telling the reader which way to go. Examples of these include to list and add points we usually use. Firstly, in the first place, to start or begin with. Secondly, in addition, furthermore, moreover, besides. Thirdly, finally, last but not the least, etc. To introduce or list advantages. The first, main, or most important advantage of 1. Another, an additional advantage of. One point of view in favor of. It is often suggested, believed, argued that. Some, many people, suggest, feel, argue that, etc. To introduce or list disadvantages, the main, most important disadvantage, drawback of. 1. Another, an additional disadvantage, negative effect of. 1 point, argument against, etc. Now, to introduce examples, reasons, or results we use. For example, instance, such as, like, in particular, therefore, for this reason, because, as, since, as a result, etc. To show contrast, on the other hand, however, still, but, nonetheless, nevertheless, although, even though, despite, in spite of, the fact that, etc. To introduce a conclusion, in conclusion, to conclude or sum up, all in all, finally, last, all things considered, taking everything into account or consideration, etc. Regarding grammar, omission of the definite article. In paragraphs, it's often needed to refer to things in general. For example, most teachers believe that exams have advantages. In addition, exams are an effective way of preparing students for the stressful situation that they may meet in their future working life. Comma rules. All the linking words and phrases are usually followed by a comma. For example, first, comma, television is educational, full stop. However, comma, there are both advantages and disadvantages too. On the other hand, comma, the disadvantages outnumber the advantages. For example, comma, I saw a computer game where style. The style of writing is usually semi-formal or formal. Characteristics of formal style include long forms, it is, does not, cannot, etc. More sophisticated vocabulary, no colloquial expressions should be used. Use of the passive rather than the active voice. For example, something should be done instead of we should do something, etc. Brainstorming. Every time you start writing a paragraph on advantages and disadvantages, brainstorm for about 2 to 3 minutes. Think of 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages. Do not start writing straight away. Next time, inshallah, we are going to apply what we've learned in today's lesson. Do not forget to do the assignment. Repeat the lesson whenever you need to. Write all answers in your book. Thank you. Goodbye.